Okay guys, so this video is going to talk about area of a triangle and how to find this. So really quickly, the formula that you have is area of a triangle is half of base times height, or you can think of it as base times height times 2. I'm sorry, not times 2, divided by 2. So when you do this, sometimes it's really important to make sure that you know exactly what is your base and what's your height and what number you're not supposed to use, because a lot of people get confused when they look at this picture, when they look at the ones that have 3 numbers. So a lot of times when you're looking at these questions, there's only 2 numbers to choose from, and it makes it really easy to be like, oh, one's base, one's height, right? But that is not the case in this example, in this question. So your base and your height are going to be the numbers that for the lines that go straight up and down. Well, technically not that part. So it would be this part and technically that part. But these 2 lines. Okay. A lot of people like to look at it and say, well, the lines that are going straight up and down and left and right are the ones that you're basing your height. For example, like this one is talking about the height, even though it's not exactly on this length right here, it's measuring the height from the base to the top. So that is why it is this, they're talking about that is the height. So with that, I want you guys to also know that this little guy over here, hold on, let me erase this one. This guy right here, this slanty line, is never going to be used for this question. Okay, never, ever, ever, ever. Okay, this is your hypotenuse. You don't really need to know what this is called, but this is called your hypotenuse. And you do not use that. That is not the base or the height. That is a very specific line in a triangle that you do not know, that you do not use for this. So when you do this, a lot of times people are like, well, how am I supposed to remember what a hypotenuse is? So what you're going to do is you're going to look at this right angle right here and just sort of, I envision this as a little arrow that points to this line that says absolutely under no circumstances use this line. So I just use that little thing right there to show not to use that one. So for this question, the only lines that you have left to use, like I showed you before, is the 6 and the 11. So we're going to put this into our formula, which is base times height. So 6 times 11 divided by 2. So that is 66 divided by 2, which is going to equal 33. Now remember, this is, I'm looking at my units that I have, it's centimeters, but this is area. Area is always squared. Okay, let me write it down because you guys always forget. Area is always squared. Now for you guys who say, what's squared? That is the little 2. So I'll put that down there too, little 2. Okay, area is always, whenever you're finding area, if I could write this on a poster, tattoo it on my forehead, this is what I would put. Area is always squared. Okay, so do not forget that. That is all you really need to know how to do this question. If you guys need another example or need a little help on this one, let me know.